So I am creating a little video in response to a question that came in on Sunday about chakra 7 and about the theme of fear and this theme of healing and evolution, which um, which are so important. And the question from our dear friend Nancy is, what is actually healing when someone says you are healing? That's an awesome question in and of itself. And then she followed up with, are you healing from fear? So, what is actually healing when someone says you're healing? I think that that is an inquiry question that I don't want to give you some solid answer to. I think that there's probably a lot more fruit to be found by just asking that question for yourself. And what the question really comes back to is actually this older, deeper spiritual question of what am I? So not only when I'm healing, but when I am doing anything, what is it? What is it that is going on this journey? And as I have been asking this question and been exploring for myself, I have found that there's multiple answers to what the self is. And depending on my perspective, each of those answers is totally valid. And the way that I've been trying to introduce the chakras journey is the idea that the chakras are places that I could stand and say, I am this body, chakra 1. I am this being that loves, chakra 4. And here we are in chakra 7, where I am the being that is beyond space and time, but is conscious, is consciousness. Another answer that can be really helpful, and that has been for me, is to see the chakra system as a whole, as what we call a subtle body, as what is sometimes called the anatomy of your soul. And to take this perspective is to say that while I'm pure consciousness way out there, I'm also this body in this particular moment that's breathing. I could also call myself this energy body that has traveled through different incarnations over time. And that is on this much, much longer than a lifetime journey of healing and awakening, of exploration. And that perspective has been really beautiful and really helpful for me. And the perspective that I chose to show up in my mom's belly on that particular day in this particular town, Fort Worth, Texas. I chose all of it, right? My soul somehow chose it and chose to come and do this leg of my healing journey in this form, in this family, with its problems and with its gifts. One of the chakra 7 meditations that one can do today, we went expansive in space, but you can go expansive in time and remember that your ancestors want you here, right? Brought you here. And that you are ushering forth many, many generations into the future. And so that perspective can be really helpful for people in terms of wondering, what am I? And what is going on this healing journey? And so that's all just to explore. And then in terms of fear, yeah, it's beautiful, right? Yeah. And I'll just pause on that because of the comment coming in, but just, it is really beautiful. And it's very helpful for me, right? Sometimes going just like, oh, I am pure consciousness. I am the edges of space. It's like so abstract. And then to be just here in my own stuff is so kind of intertwined and small. Like, oh, it's just Aaron just trying to like get something done before I die. but this kind of medium space, which really the chakras can represent for us, brings us back into a loving relationship with the generations before us and the generations after us and the lifetimes before us and after us. And in terms of fear, are we healing from fear? It's an interesting way of putting it that actually made me kind of think differently in these last couple of days. In a sense, yes, but I think that fear is not a disease. Fear is not really a problem. Fear is just another aspect of the self. Fear is what tells us that maybe something about our makeup is in danger. And my physical body can be in danger while my seventh chakra is going, like, and this, a lot of people actually talk about this. They're, near-death experiences where they actually access this great peace. Oh, this body is going. The same way you'll go, I'm going to change clothes now. And this shedding of things that the lower chakras are very naturally and healthily attached to. We want to take care of our bodies. They are a beautiful gift. But at some point, we do have to let go of them. That doesn't come with us. And so fear is there to kind of say, oh, nope, this is worth fighting for. This is worth trying for. This might be in danger. And we don't have to get rid of fear. We don't really get rid of fear, but our relationship with fear shifts so that we just allow the fear to give us whatever lesson it came to give us in the moment. But what we don't want is for the fear to reinforce the other kleshas, because remember that fear is a klesha, a binivesha. And as long as our fear is not reinforcing our false stories, our egoic identities, this is me, this is all I am, is this body, so I can't let go of it, right? That's a false story and a false identity. And then we don't want our fear to be ramping up our attachments and ramping up our aversions. And so live with fear. It's here for a reason, just like everything else in this universe. But let it have its seat at the table, but don't let it run all the meetings, right? Let it have a place in your life, know how to encounter fear and be with it, but also make sure that you have experiences that let you touch sort of the edges of that. And just don't let it feed and fuel the other kleshas. Okay, that's my share with you in response to that beautiful question. And please ask questions this week, and I'm happy to respond to all of them.